Mike Barrel here to entertain you with the help of Three Dog Night. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Professor Rock did a video about the song One. Now, apparently the guy was on the phone, feeling lonely, and listening to the busy signal. And thinking, beep, 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 beep. and thought, somebody should be able to put that to music. Not only does it introduce the song, but it's also kind of throughout the whole song. Anyways, so I don't think I'll ever be able to hear that song now without thinking of that busy signal on the telephone. It actually sparked a childhood memory of mine when I used to lay on my grandmother's bed as a child. I used to pick up the telephone she had and listen to the dial tone just long enough to hear that. And of course, being a child, I get scared and hang the phone up right away. Yeah, so I'm listening to the music and taking a little break from Christmas music. Although Joy to the World, Three Dog Night, is kind of a Christmas song anyways. Out in the Country, which actually is not always included on Best Ofs, is one of my favorites. I was also listening to Bread, the band Bread. And I was recollecting something my grandfather used to say when I was a kid, when I'd bring up the band Bread. He'd say, Bread? I know their competing band, Butter. Which, of course, as a kid, I laughed and everything. But if I was a little more quick-witted as a kid, I would have said to my grandpa, hey, what about the time they musically combined forces and called it Bread and Butter? All the concert attendees were treated to an all-you-can-eat buffet of bread and butter. All right, I wanted to get one out there just to elaborate a little bit on some of the video shorts I made recently, referencing philosophy and Vladimir Putin. I posted a video short where I was basically highlighting the limited interpretation of freedom by leftists and progressives. Okay, so what nationality is Jesus Christ? Historians will say odds are because of the region that all that human history took place in, odds are Jesus Christ was an Arabic man. Theologians won't argue with historians on that, but they will stress the fact that we don't know for sure what nationality Jesus Christ was. And that's ends up being a good thing because different congregations find comfort in a Jesus depicted as a nationality of that they can relate to. That's why we have black churches have a black Jesus, Caucasians, Hispanic, all these different Jesus nationalities. And really only helps overall to get the overall message of Jesus Christ being the Prince of Peace. I would argue it's also testament to humanity's inability to understand God as a whole. And on that video short that I made, talking about how the left and progressives totally missed the mark. It's a Hebrew interpretation of sin. So it's actually missing the mark is actually the more literal translation of the term sin in the Bible. But anyways, I was talking about the triangle, or the golden triangle of faith, virtue, and freedom by God. And the worship of money and materialism is the best example of freedom turned idol, like I said in that video short. That's why there is no reason, there's no real freedom in the absence of faith and virtue. To put it in layman's term, you cannot do whatever you want and just assume a good or positive outcome. A good or positive outcome is going to come from living your life in that philosophy. I can do whatever I want, and it'll all just turn out good. Nope, doesn't work that way. The other video short that I shared recently, where I was talking about my theory as to Vladimir Putin and the way and his reason for embracing Christianity, and about how of all the atrocities that he's committed, I think maybe whatever remorse or regret, whatever that means in the mind of Vladimir Putin, maybe he does feel that for one or two things he's done in his life. And I think that's why the real reason he embraces Christianity. As I stated in that video short, he's got to have enough intelligence to at least know that he's not immortal. And I thought the best way to do this was to compare Vladimir Putin to the dying emperor Sketsy from the Dark Crystal. Remember? Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal. Chamberlain goes to grab for the dying emperor on his dying bed. He goes to grab for his staff to the Chamberlain character, and right away the dying emperor musters up enough strength to grab the staff and hits at him and say, I am still emperor. And then he dies. But interesting fact, Jim Henson, the set for that movie was set up high so that Jim Henson could do the puppeteering and just walk like normal, because he didn't want it to be like Kermit the Frog, you know. He wanted it, and the only way for them to do that would be to hold the puppet up and then walk naturally himself to make it look natural for the movie. Yep, just like Lord of the Rings, a lot of love and attention to detail went into the making of that thing. That's why they're remembered. They really don't do that for movies nowadays. It's amazing how when something becomes so easy that it's worth, there's a devalue in its worth in the end product. Amazing how that works. Human nature. All right, I'm going to make a separate video updating, talking about what's going on with my father, what I know. But I'm just going to end this one, giving a quick update. This is kind of a part 2 to that I was a witness to misogyny other video, where I shared the story about this guy who came in and was talking smack. Turns out that the girl was actually 14, not 15. Can't believe how young these kids are at work at this place. But I got kind of sort of a part 2 to that story. I actually got a chance the other day to talk to her directly and find out exactly what goes. So I got a little more. She didn't cry, but she did admit that she did cry in the aftermath. When she was leaving. But anyways, the guy showed up again at the store. And this time he went to my line, and he was wearing a mask because the Roni? Yeah. But me and the other guy knew right away. Those beady little eyes and that weird haircut. And then plus the girl pointed, she was first to point him out. Like, there he is. But anyways, this time he went to my line, and the cashier, and I was just doing my job, and just ringing him up. Do you want a receipt, sir? And this guy was real talkative, real the type of person. I got the vibes that he's always got to be the center of attention, but real talkative. I rang him up when I finished ringing him up. I said, "Sir, do you want a receipt?" And he goes, "Yeah, give me 3." So I gave him 3 receipts. All of a sudden, quiet. No more talkative. I guess he thought he was going to get a laugh at me trying to produce 3 receipts. This is how these kind of people, it's actually been a long time since I've worked in the public sector. This part-time job I'm working at. So I almost forgot how goofy some people can be. I worked at a car wash when I was a kid. There was a guy used to come in there on occasion driving a frickin' Ferrari. And this guy, I swear to God, was straight out of a Sammy Hagar video. Always had a blonde girlfriend with him. They'd always be arguing. The manager would be, "All right, play nice, kids." But anyways, I in the aftermath, when I was writing this all down, what I was going to say for this video, I remembered the very last thing the guy said to me was, "Oh, I guess I owe you." What the hell? Which now I think about it, should I be concerned? All right, like I said, I'm going to make a separate video talking about what's going on with my father, but I'm just going to end this video with some funny. So, today at work, I share a little funny thing that happened when I went to the restroom at work today. There was a bunch of ice in the urinal. My first reaction was, "Wow, that must have been painful." Well, why is it transparent, though? That's got to be a medical anomaly. See, these are the kind of thoughts that made it necessary to separate me from the other children in school. I mean, what would you think if you came face to face with a urinal full of ice? Mike Perlak, thank you for your time.